The removal of headphone jack is still something that makes me have a personal grudge against the industry, but if you have to use an adapter, you can at least get something that will improve your experience, like this ddHiFi X Headphone Zone DAC and amp. This is the second Headphone Zone collab product that I am checking out, and at a price of 2000 rupees, it is targeted at people who want a good quality upgrade at a reasonable price. Inside the special box that I have received, we have a hand-signed note from Raghav which makes me feel better about my handwriting. There is some other stuff that is surprisingly expensive, and then in the product box that you will get a USB A to C cable to connect this to a PC or laptop along with the dongle. The quality of this adapter actually feels quite good. The shiny OFC cable and the connectors both feel well designed, and they have a really nice finishing on its metal parts. I was also able to connect this to my phone even with its cover on. The 3.5mm output on this is actually a 4-pole TRRS jack, which means that it also supports microphone input, so you won't have to take your phone out of your pocket when you need to attend calls with earphones that have a built-in mic. You can of course connect this to any USB-C device, which includes Android and Apple phones, PCs and laptops. On the Headphone Zone page, they mention that this dongle is not compatible with Samsung S22, S23 and S24, but it works fine with my S24 Ultra, so I'll ask the Headphone Zone team if there is an issue with the non-Ultra model and put the clarification in the pinned comment or in the text here. The DAC and amp chips are actually separate on this tiny dongle, which sounds like something that should help with its sound quality, and the output power that we have on this is 65 mW at 32 ohms, which is easily plenty enough for any kind of earphones, and even full-sized planar magnetic headphones like the HE4XX were driven nicely by this, and these headphones generally don't get as loud when you connect them directly to your phone. Now the main purpose of getting something like this is that you can get sound that is better than your smartphone's output, and I did want to compare how this dongle output would compare to my phone, but I didn't get a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter with my S24 Ultra, and I tried using some passive adapters that I have which didn't work, and this is one of the major frustrations that I have with the smartphone industry, because even though years have gone since we have had the 3.5mm jack removed, analog audio is a very basic requirement of any multimedia supporting device, and even a big phone like this S24 Ultra doesn't have it, and it doesn't even come with an adapter, so at that point a product like this becomes a necessary purchase, and at its price, it won't even be much more expensive than any of the official adapters that you may get from Samsung or other brands. But coming back from my rant to its audio quality, it is nice and it is a serious step up from the output of devices like my old iPad mini. I am also going to cover this 3 times more expensive DAC from SimGot, and it has a balanced out which may be better, but the single-ended output on the ddHiFi DAC sounds really smooth, and you really may not be able to tell that the DU4X's single-ended output is better. This actually sounds so nice and smooth that it is kind of surprising how well this competes with DAC and amps that are much more expensive, bigger and complicated. I think that it pairs really well with entry-level and mid-range audiophile earphones and headphones, and even something like the SimGot EA1000s work really nice with them, even though you will find improvements on this level if you use them with more expensive stuff. I can't find any flaws with such a basic product. It just works like it should. You get very high quality audio output, it is built well, it is very compact for the kind of quality you get, it is affordable, and the links to buy it will be in the video description. If you want to check out my video on this SimGot DAC, you can subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.